It's high school hockey night live. Game 2 of our doubleheader with Peters Township hosting Central Catholic, presented by Eric Martin, certified financial advisor from Ameriprise. I'm Matt Gajtka. This is 10 Band TV's presentation of PIHL hockey as warm-ups have begun from Printscape Arena at South Point. Two teams that had fantastic regular seasons last year. Of course, Peters Township went on to win the Penguins Cup for the second consecutive season. But two teams that have sputtered a bit at the outset of the 2023-24 season. So motivation high for both sides to keep things going in the upward direction. Keep that arrow pointed upward, as a famous coach around here likes to say. Peters Township coming off a big win last week, 6-2 against Mount Lebo. You saw it at Printscape Arena. You also probably watched it if you're a Peters Township fan on Trib Live. Thanks to our partners there for picking up that broadcast. And here we are back with the Indians as they try to level their record at 3-3 against Mount Lebo. Camden Martin had a hat trick, and Peters Township had a superlative special teams night, scoring twice on the power play and twice shorthanded to send the Blue Devils down to defeat. As for Central Catholic, it's their fourth time on the road in their first 6 games, but the Vikings have handled that stretch pretty well. They have won 2 out of their 3 on the road. They've won 3 out of 5 overall. There you see the Vikes in their familiar dark blue and gold. Last time out, though, against North Allegheny at home over at the Alpha Ice Complex in Harmerville, the Vikings scored first as they got on top of the Tigers, but then the Tigers scored the next 7 goals consecutively, and Central Catholic suffered a 7-2 loss in the end. Anthony D'Orazio netted the only goal of that game for a long time for Central Catholic. And so good start did not equate into win number 4 for the Vikes, who now go back to the road schedule as they take on Peters Township. Always tough coming in here to play PT. But this year, Peters Township, just a 1-1 record on home ice, or a 1-2 record on home ice. They've lost to Seneca Valley. They've lost to North Allegheny. PT won on opening night at Pine Richland 3-2 in a game you saw here on 10 Band TV, but then 3 losses in a row dropped them to 1-3, a very rare situation for Peters Township, which not only almost always finishes at or near the top of the Class AAA standings, but almost always gets off to a hot start, too. They never really have to have that second half rally. Maybe never is a strong word, but very rarely do they have to play out of their minds in the second half to finish in the top half of the standing. So the win against Mount Lebo last week, a return to form for this Peters Township squad, which is working in quite a few new players this year. That's been part of the story for PT. And yes, you see returners like Camden Martin with 3 goals and 7 total points. Drew Alexander, fellow senior, with 4 goals to lead this team, along with 2 assists. You see other returners like on the blue line, Austin Corbel, Joey Wateska, Caven Fisher, Luca Mayetta, Hudson Phillips. That's 5 out of the 6 usual blue line starters who are, at the very least, second-year players. And actually, Jacob Schleiper played some last year, too. So 6 out of the usual 6 defenders for PT have some experience at this level. But you also see some newer forwards getting worked in, players like a couple of freshmen, and Landon Klein and Blake Ivanchich. Ivanchich scored his first varsity goal last week. Klein assisted on it. So the rare freshman to get varsity action on this massive PT squad because of the size of this program. To be clear, that's why it's so difficult to get an underclassman that really makes a huge impact. Also, Will Tomko moving on to junior hockey. He would have had some years of eligibility left here at Peters Township. So PT's had to try to regroup and work in some fresh faces. Troy Jones continues to shine with 3 points for them, and Kyle Thomas has played almost every minute of every game for PT. He's got a 2-3 record and a save percentage just shy of 900. As for Central Catholic, coached by James Eller, they've outscored their opponents by 3 goals on the season. They put up big offensive totals against Baldwin. They scored 6 times. They scored 5 at Seneca Valley. That's a big accomplishment. The Raiders usually difficult to penetrate. They have spread the scoring around well. They have 4 players with exactly 4 points. Anthony DeRazio, I told you, he scored against North Allegheny last week. Also, Griffin Lewis, a junior, the senior, Evan Benscoter, and another senior, Jake Ochwat. They all have 4 points on the year. And when you look at goal totals, too, it's been spread around. Noah Ritz with 2 goals, Lewis, DeRazio, Judah Brophy, and Benscoter, all with 2. In goal, it's been more of by committee, as a pair of juniors, Thomas Puhala and Ben Bala, yes, it rhymes, but 2 different junior goaltenders have gotten significant time. So we're about to find out who will be between the pipes tonight for Coach Eller. And as for Coach Rick Tingle of Peters Township, we expect senior Kyle Thomas, who helped PT to its 2nd consecutive Penguins Cup championship last spring. But we'll see. As the other option is the junior Ethan Williams, who's got varsity experience to his credit as well. 17 minutes are loaded on the first period clock. My name is Matt Gajtka, and I was just looking back on it. This is my 9th season calling Peters Township hockey. It's been exciting to be part of the program, and now on 10-band TV for the 3rd consecutive season. And look who it is. It will be number 68, Ethan Williams, getting his first start of the season. He's stopped 6 of 7 shots on the year in relief. I believe that came against Seneca Valley a couple of weeks ago, if memory serves. And Thomas Puhala gets start number 4 for Central Catholic. He's got an .886 save percentage and a 3.35 goals against average, along with a shutout on opening night against Bethel Park. The puck is dropped and we're off. Like I mentioned, Central Catholic in its familiar dark blue and gold. You might even call it purple. And Peters Township in its familiar home white jerseys with the red numerals and the red helmets, red pants. Caven Fisher back for it for Peters Township. Chipped it up the near side wall and out it goes. And a 3-on-1 early. Caputo holding, shooting, and he scores! The puck was tucked away behind the netminder Puhala. 31 seconds in. Charlie Caputo rifles it home inside the left post, I believe. His first of the season. And Caputo, give him credit. A lot of times in that situation, players will force the pass. He did not, and he sniped it just past the blocker hand of Puhala. And it's 1-0 Peters Township. PT coming into tonight averaging, well, for the program standards, a paltry 2.4 goals per game. That's 8th out of 11 teams. That's one way to cure it. Get an early one. When one goes in early, usually it's easier to keep it up from there. At least that's how it feels, but never quite know how each individual game is going to go. Each of these teams has allowed 3 goals per game. Williams makes his first save with the blocker hand. It caroms over into the near corner. Charlie Caputo, number 88, scores the first goal of this game. As Central Catholic got too many bodies caught up ice, and now Peters Township will get the first penalty of this game too. Roughing is the call. I was curious why there was a whistle there. For a while, I was confused why play had stopped. Camden Martin, last week's hat trick hero, has a seat. That's the first I've heard that goal horn here at Printscape as well. Nice touch. Sound like the Carolina Hurricanes version of the goal horn. It's my 7-year-old son's personal favorite. Here's a look, and Williams melts it down after the early save on the power play for Central Catholic. The Vikings are 2 for 13 on the season, 15%, tied for 6th in the 11-team league. Peters Township has killed off 9 of 10 on the year. That was Jay Donahue had that early shot. Out to the point, and here is Donahue. Closing, shooting, stopped in front. Turned back toward the crease by Lewis and blocked down and out. And all the way into the Central Catholic zone. Palmieri pressuring hard. Griffin Lewis. Strong skating and a shot, and Williams absorbs it and gets another whistle. 1:22 to go on the power play. Griffin Lewis, 2 goals, 2 assists on the season. Big 18. Got by Drew Alexander at center ice, and he was off. Anthony DeRazio to take this draw for Central Catholic. Lost it and cleared by the Indians. Back there behind the net, Puhala, who was beaten on the first shot of the night, faced by either goaltender. Caputo leading a 3-on-1 rush from the right circle. Wristed it home. Adam Sarkis, returner for Central Catholic. Cracked it along. Central Catholic went 14-5-1 last year, but then lost in the opening round of the Penguins Cup playoffs to upset-minded Upper St. Clair. It was a good rebound season for the Vikings. Netted off its pegs on the stuff try from behind the goal. Billy George Jr. was the man trying to jam it home. And DeRazio at the face-off circle, again, lost that one and banged down the ice again by Peters Township. Solid penalty kills so far for PT. And here's another clear, quickly off the near side boards. Blake Ivanchich out there killing this penalty. The freshman, along with Bryce O'Donnell, the senior, at the top of the formation. Blast misfired. Sarkis retrieves for Central Catholic. 10 seconds to go on the penalty to Camden Martin. DeRazio's wrister never got through. It looks like the Vikings are about to be 0 for 1. DeRazio fields it on his backhand. Turned it back out to the blue line. Donahue returns it to him. DeRazio tried to one-time it. He was tied up there by Joey Wateska. DeRazio's backhand skittering to this near side corner and swept out of the zone by Peters Township. Too far for Camden Martin to catch up to, fresh out of the penalty box, icing the call against the Tribe. Big thanks to Todd Kazarowski and his technical crew on site at Printscape Arena. And thank you to Eric Martin, Certified Financial Advisor of Ameriprise Financial, our game sponsor for this evening and a season-long sponsor of Peters Township boys hockey. Nate Cox swung it along, and the Vikings can break it out. Down 1-0. Another shot from distance, saved by Williams, and the rebound burped up, but picked up by Martin. Looks like the Vikings are trying to test Williams, making his first start of the season for PT. Like I said, just 7 shots faced on the season coming into the year. All in relief. He stopped 6 of those. Fisher dumps in, tries to get in after it, but Billy George Jr. on the retrieval, but he gave it up. Alexander from the corner. Caputo, the goal scorer. Challenge there. Caputo got it back. He bangs bodies and flips it up to the line. Fisher, a shot. Oh my. Puhala had some trouble with it, but it ends up under those big white pads of his. Pinned to the ice. Inadvertent or otherwise. Just 4.5 minutes into period number 1. PT's already on the board, as you see there. Landon Klein, number 19, along with Ivancic. Here is Blake Ivancic, or pardon me, that's Scouvert, rather, with a backhand chance that's denied in front before it ever got to the goaltender. Vikings on the counter. Shot careens wide from the right wing. Now from the left half boards. Forced back out to center. And into the Vikings territory, Ray Travato. Into the middle. Skating it out of danger is Lewis. Shown an ability to carry through the neutral zone in the early going tonight. Klein trying to redirect it out, and does for PT. To the near wing. Marcelo lifts it ahead. Stick save by Williams on the opportunity, still loose. High in the slot and eventually melted down by Williams. Ben Scoter had a look. So did Kane Phillip as well, buzzing around. But Williams and the Indians survive that flurry. Throughout the game, we'll be flashing certain deals you can get from various local businesses. There you see Pure Hockey, one of our participants in that program. Just hold your phone up to the QR code and access those fantastic deals. Weight Loss Direct, a longtime sponsor as well. Yes, the roll will continue to spin through at the bottom of your screen throughout tonight's game. Contact us at 10band.tv if you want to be part of that. You want to get your business some exposure, whether by a traditional sponsorship or otherwise. The new hot deals we have. New feature for this 2023-24 season. Gajtka thought about going up the middle. Now he turned it over, and another snapshot goes wide of the net. Well, the Vikings have had some opportunities. Have not been able to bury as of yet. Icing again against Peters Township. So it's not been an airtight performance so far for Peters Township, but they've so far kept the Vikings off the score sheet. Rick Tingle back behind the bench. Last week he was out of town. Always kind of weird to not see him back there. Even if he does occasionally have those work trips to take him elsewhere. Luke Gesso with a shot and a toe save by Ethan Williams off the face-off win for the Vikes. Martin leans in, centers it, comes out the cave, and Fisher, and it's blocked. Out the center it goes. Slid right back in ahead of the attempted clear of the zone by the Indians, so they have to clear for a second time before they can take it. Now Berthold, shot from the sharp angle, easily handled by Williams. Now the rebound still up for grabs. Alexander with Maeda, digging away at it. Alexander comes out of the pack with the puck with exactly 10 minutes to go in the first period, but he gives it away, again out by the line, and again a shot by Berthold. That one missed everything. Daly, backhand pass nearly picked off, but he got it across to his D partner, and the dump in by the Central Catholic Vikings. Martin put it in the skates of Alexander, but Martin able to recover and push it back down deep. Off the near wall. Ochwat gets his first attempt of the game. That's denied by Williams. Pardon me, that was Aaron Williams, 49, not 48. And here is Aaron Williams. Ethan Williams is the Peters Township goaltender. We'll try to keep them separate. Over the near side, Aaron Williams. PG trying to skate this out of danger. Ivancic clicks a pass ahead through Palmieri at center ice. Ochwat flips it on down. Both teams not taking any chances right now as they exchange possession. Hudson Phillips backpedaling and playing off the wall. Again kept in at the point, and again funneled right to the front of the net. This time by Ray Travato, the freshman D-man. And again, Ethan Williams scoops it up. We'll also be recognizing our Peters Township team sponsors throughout the evening. Tomco, familiar name we've seen on the screen over and over again over the years. We thank them for their continued financial support of not just the team, but also our broadcast on 10-band TV. Offside against Peters Township. No, it's a penalty, pardon me. Penalty against Griffin Lewis. He goes to the box for hooking. Peters Township earns its first power play of the night. PT on the year, 3 for 20 on the season. They've given up a shorty. Central Catholic has killed off 16 of 19 coming in. Martin, cross rink. Ivancic stopped. Stopped by Puhala from point blank. Fantastic pass. Camden Martin, who had a hat trick last time out, scored twice on the power play, once shorthanded. Here's Martin setting sail, and he wanted to snipe it short side, but he just missed. The rebound, Karam's out to a Viking, and ushered out to center ice. Ben Scoter with a shoot in. Slap shot from the sharp angle, forcing Williams to make a save from the butterfly. Deflected pass comes right to Central Catholic, and again they clear. 7.5 to go in the first period, 1:15 left on this first power play of the night for Peters Township. Ahead 1-0 on a Charlie Caputo even strength goal. Fisher, plenty of room, plenty of time to skate it into the offensive zone. Left it in the left wing circle for Drew Alexander. He takes a look, burrows in behind the net. Left it there inadvertently, but Caputo's there on the overlap to take it back. He backhanded it behind the goal. Alexander, Ivancic centering and poked away from Alexander. And all the way down it goes. 3/4 of a minute to go on this power play. Corbel. Or pardon, that's Woteska actually. 78, not 76. I'm good for one of those screw-ups a game when it comes to those two. Fisher. Downshifting into the attack zone. Fresh bodies out there for PT, at least 3 of them. This is O'Donnell. Behind the goal, Alexander looking to go back to O'Donnell, but picked off and swiped up into the air and down by Anthony DeRazio. Central Catholic almost back to the safety of 5-on-5. One last rush on the PP for PT. Caputo gains the line, wrists it in. One of the Indians got tied up back there, and that allows Central Catholic to get one last clear, but it's after the power play ends, so that goes for an icing with 6:12 remaining in the first. Some decent possession for PT on that opening power play, but not a lot in terms of scoring opportunities. In fact, I don't think they even got a shot toward the net on the junior goalie Thomas Puhala. Maeda, slick move out by the line to avoid a couple of Vikings and protect the puck. Palmieri on the slip in, looking for Jeremy Poon, not to be. O'Donnell couldn't get there either. Bouncing around at center ice, and the Indians track it down. Poon wristing it high off the glass. Cox back to take it for Central Catholic. Not a good feed there. Poon back toward the front. Puhala never had to make a save as it struck O'Donnell right in the back and bounced away harmlessly. Speaking of bouncing, that one's bounced right in on Puhala, who makes the blocker save. Cox couldn't get it out by Palmieri. This is Scouvert, number 52, first-year Indian, and he's stopped on the little stuff play at the side of the net. Matthew Scouvert still pointless in 5 games at the varsity level. He's a sophomore. So we have Scouvert, Brady Holleran, also a sophomore on this team, in addition to the 2 freshmen, Klein and Ivancic. You can usually count the underclassmen on one hand with Peters Township, and that is the case again this year, at least among players who have played so far. 5 to go in the first. The Vikings coming into tonight at 3-2. Peters Township at 2-3, but the Vikings are coming off a loss and PT coming off a win. One of the Vikings lost his edge twice. That was Ochwat. Scouvert with a snapshot. That missed high. Fisher at the point. Overrun, and the puck is kicked out to center by Jack Marcello. In over the line. High-rising shot from Ochwat. Williams got a piece, I believe, with his blocker hand. Ochwat, number 48 on defense. You see him right there on your screen in the foreground. He leads this team with 4 assists from the backside of things. Pretty impressive considering it's not like it's a team that's racked up the power play goals so far, just a couple in its first 5. A lot of times when you see D-men with big assist numbers, a lot of that comes on the advantage. Not in this case, at least, for Jake Ochwat and the Vikes. Strong pass from Billy George. Up through to center ice. Moline run off the puck, and Williams pounces on it with 3:39 to go before our first mini break. Just a short break between the first and second periods. No ice cut then. We do have the ice cut after the second period. Bunted in deep by the Vikings. But out with it comes Camden Martin and Peters Township. He tried to hook up with Klein on the far wing. That didn't connect. And the puck rattling around at center ice. Lewis on the high flip, trying to change things up, but Phillips handles that well for PT. Pushed right back into Central Catholic real estate. Turned over. Martin. Oh, it drifted off his blade as he tried to deal to the backhand. Alexander, good pass. Martin wanted to put it in the legs of a defenseman and couldn't do it. That was Jay Donahue. Look at him skate. Donahue leaving it. Back for a blast by Phillip. That's off the stick of Williams. That was going wide anyway. Now under 3 to go in the first. My name is Matt Gajtka on the play-by-play. Flying solo tonight on 10-Band TV. You can watch 10-Band TV on Roku, Amazon Fire, also on the web and via your mobile device, as you might imagine. Phillips hightailing it back to take this rolling puck. Still not settling for him, but he makes the easy play. Off the wall, or I should say a simple play. Nothing simple is ever easy, I guess, or something like that. Phillips takes the cross-ring pass, a weird bounce right in front of the Central Catholic net, and that's where Puhala stops the music. Take a second look at this one. How'd that end up in front of the net? Oh, it went off of that door that is closed, obviously, but apparently the side of the door jamb, whatever, is protruding just enough to allow that puck to bounce off it and right in front of the net. To the corner. Central Catholic down a goal. They've had a couple of opportunities. Nothing from that close. Here's an opportunity, though. Just as I say that, that's deflected out of play. Doug Berthold got that shot off, but couldn't get it off cleanly before it hit a Peters Township stick and ricocheted off the rink. Noah Ritz to take this draw. Ritz spelled not like the cracker. It's H-R-I-T-Z. Scouvert backpedaling, doubling back, I should say, to take this puck. Couldn't clear up the near wing. Now Scouvert tries again to the far side. Hacked at by Caputo, turned over. One-time shot blocked off the stick of Phillip. He tries again. Williams made the save, couldn't find the rebound, but luckily for him, Scouvert does for Peters Township. Penalty coming up against Central Catholic on the back check. Phillip had lost his stick and was trying to restrict Scouvert. Well, he did restrict him, as it turned out, outside the confines of the rule book. So a late power play for Peters Township. They're hoping for better process and result from their first crack at it. PT on the season outscored by 3 goals. They have 12, now 13 goals actually. It was 12 coming into tonight, and they've given up 15. Point shot redirected into the right corner after the faceoff controlled cleanly by the Indians. PT here on home ice for the 4th time in 6 games. Just a 1-2 record here at Printscape so far. They lost to North Allegheny and Seneca Valley, 2 traditional powers in Class AAA, but PT is also one of those traditional powers, not used to dropping decisions to anybody. Ivancic poking it along, under a minute to go in the first. Alexander battling. Here's Jack Marcello for Central Catholic. Couldn't clear it beyond the right glove of Caven Fisher. Good play to force it back in below the goal line. Bouncing puck out to the line, kept in there, shot toward the front of the net. That was blocked by a Viking. And PT passed it a little too hard back toward the point. Now Fisher has to retrieve with 25 ticks remaining. Caven Fisher getting a lot of playing time in this first period. He's got 3 points to lead this PT Blue Line crew. 10 seconds left. Martin on the charge. Camden Martin to Wateska, needs a shot, he gets one, and it just missed, about a half foot offline to the left as time runs out with Fisher trying to make something happen on his backhand side. The second power play of the night for PT still has 38 seconds to go on it, but nothing doing there at the end of the first. 1-0 Peters Township on a Charlie Caputo rush goal at even strength early on in this one. Back after a short break for the second period from South Point.
Jumbo iced caramel drizzle peppermint mochaccino. Extra caramel.
That's us.
I'd love to join you guys at the beach house for a few days, but between my job and the kids, it's just not that easy. Not to mention, how am I squeezing into a bikini after this winter?
Keeping off extra pounds while balancing a family and a career can be tough. And 500-calorie coffees won't get you there either. Weight Loss Direct provides a 24/7 support and one-on-one coaching to keep you on track and guarantee you success and health. Start your journey at weightlossdirect.com.
Are you It's high school hockey night live. Second period imminent from Printscape Arena in South Point, PA, just off Interstate 79. Peters Township leads at 1-0 on a Charlie Caputo goal, his first point of the season. The senior striking off an assist from Camden Martin, who's got 5 helpers on the year now and a team best 8 points. However, Central Catholic actually outshot Peters Township 11-5 in the opening period. PT on its second power play that carries over into the second period. They'll have 38 seconds to try to score before Kane Phillip is freed from the box. PT attacking the goal down to our left here in this period. Martin driving hard, leaving it back. Ivancic, well, he lost control of the puck behind the net and gunned off the far side boards. Now it goes by Donahue. Final 10 seconds on this power play. PT is going to be hard-pressed to score on this one, as the Indians have to go back for this. 7 seconds left before we return to 5-on-5 play. Alexander, though, with some room, skating in over the line, left it behind, but a snapshot from Martin, that's blocked. Picked up by Aaron Williams, and he tossed it out to center ice, and the Vikings might have something here. On the counter, Williams makes a shoulder save on the high-rising shot from Ben Scoter. Evan Ben Scoter, a returning varsity man. for Coach James Eller and his Vikings. Fisher rips that shot. The goaltender Puhala makes the save. Puhala versus Williams, the net-minding battle. So far, both young men have acquitted themselves quite well. The only goal scored on a 3-on-1 rush. Into the middle, a chance for Lewis, and his shot was deflected. Good stick by Luca Maeda, who used to be a forward. Now Maeda is a defenseman. This is his third varsity year. He played as a freshman. Had some big moments in the Penguins Cup playoffs the last 2 years on the offensive side, and now being asked to get after it on the defensive side. And he's got a couple of points as well from the blue line so far this season. Maeda overskated that one, though. Lewis trying to get the shot off, could not. Again, he had it blocked. Ben Scoter drifting open to this near side, but Lewis has his pocket picked by Palmieri, who rifles it off the glass, and down it goes. Icing the call against Peters Township. But unlike at the top level of the sport, the NHL, you can make a change after the icing on the defensive side. Hey, speaking of the NHL, the Penguins play tonight. A lot of hockey tonight. You could watch 3 full games, 2 high school games here on 10 Band, then switch it on over to Pittsburgh Sportsnet for Penguins and Ducks from Anaheim. The one time when that late start is advantageous, I suppose, when you can just stack them. And I guess if you're going to play out west, play just after we turn the clocks back. Here's a look from point blank and a stop by Williams on Kane Phillip. Oh my goodness. Phillip dusted that one off and tried to lift it, but to no avail as Williams was out there to smother it, basically. Great pass from Ritz out of the corner, by the way. And Phillip totally snuffed out from right in front of the net. Big blast. Williams makes a save on a deflected shot by Jay Donahue. Donahue unafraid to send rubber toward the net. We've seen that in this first, well, I guess half of the game. Poon reaching back to take this. Jeremy Poon couldn't get it beyond the Central Catholic defense. And then Phillips unable to flag down this clearance, but it ends up being an icing against the Vikings. Ethan Williams has played plenty at the varsity level, just has taken a back seat to Kyle Thomas so far for the Peters Township goaltending position. As far as the division of labor goes, there hasn't been much division until tonight, as Williams earns his first start from head coach Rick Tingle and his staff. Scouvert right on with that shot. Just swept it toward the net, an old-fashioned wrist shot. Puhala equal to that task. Very simple-looking uniform for the Vikings, but I like it. Big and bold. Always enjoy those bright colors. And the Vikings certainly lean into it. Williams out of his goal. Spins it off the corner glass. Not out, though. O'Donnell has to battle for it here. Flipped up, and again, kept in by the Vikings momentarily, but Adam Sarkis could not make the play to keep that puck in the offensive zones. Here's O'Donnell into the corner for Peters Township. Bryce O'Donnell. Scouvert had his stick jammed. But it bounces free to Poon. Oh, he had an idea to give it to Scouvert in the middle. It was a good idea, but the execution not quite there. To the open wing, Aiden Morgano. Or pardon me, that's Sarkis again, rather. 61, not 51. And we play on into neutral territory, right in front of the Vikings bench. 5 players digging away. Looking like coal miners at the side of the rink. Phillips hard off the glass, held in briefly, and now Alexander swooping forward with the puck. Drew Alexander. Familiar last name for Peters Township hockey fans over the recent seasons. Alexander in his senior year played it out to the blue line eventually, but nothing comes of that offensively for Peters Township. Landon Klein on the backhand, lassoed one-handedly by Aaron Daly. He reverses the flow of play. Klein keeps it at the blue line. Daly's got to try again for the guys in blue. Daly's high flip, too high. Off the rink, off the concrete wall, beyond the glass on the far side of the ice from our perspective. The concrete wall defining the boundary between the ice surface, the playing area, and Bubba's Burgers across the way, where they have been streaming our broadcast this season. We thank them for that. Always happy to give Bubba's Burgers some publicity as well on our broadcasts. Pretty unique setting in high school hockey in Western PA to be able to eat right above the playing surface and also not be freezing your butt off. Pass to the front of the net, all the way back out to the point, and Fisher couldn't guide that shot through. 12 to go in the second period. Ritz trying to drag it toward the front. And it bounces away to the near side. Ben Scoter dished it behind the goal. Williams got a stick on this from Lewis. And Alexander emerges with the biscuit. There he goes down the right wing. He's got Klein and Martin with him. Alexander pulls up, but again, couldn't make anything happen. Not a lot offensively so far for Peters Township. Just the 6 shots in the first period. They got the goal, of course, but not much sustained pressure. That's certainly still on their checklist for the rest of the night as we work our way toward the midway point of this game. We play 17-minute periods in the PIHL. The first 2 quickly, and then we have the long intermission between the second and the third. Martin's backhand pass behind Alexander in the low slot. Klein on the flip. Martin joins the party on the forecheck. Camden Martin poked it along. Blake Ivancic, number 22 in white. Had it knocked away from him, but Maeda skating gracefully up to the half boards to keep this attack still viable for PT, but only for a short time. It's tossed back all the way into their own zone. Guided along by Ben Tracy, number 44. Also a new name, even though he is a senior. Happens a lot for PT. Seniors making their varsity debuts. Maeda, strong strides. Look at those crossovers. About 10 in a row to get some separation. He snapped the shot. Caputo was pulling a drive-by, but he couldn't flag that down. Josh Moline, toe drag to his backhand, hit the outside of the goal with that attempt. With 10 to go in the second. Phillip. Sneaky pass to Donahue. His slap shot weakened on the way. Donahue again, and that missed the goal. To the line. No further. Kept in there. Fine play as Phillips' backhand is bouncing right to the side of the net. Williams pounces on it outside of his blue paint with 9:40 left in the middle period. Thanks to Eric Martin, certified financial advisor of Ameriprise Financial, for sponsoring tonight's game. Also, you'll see the PT team sponsors in addition to our local business deals rotating along the bottom of your screen, and the new 10-band TV ticker all the way at the bottom, giving you standings, stats, league leaders, things of that nature. Fisher pinches up to keep this puck alive for Peters Township. Just the one goal in this game. Charlie Caputo early in the first period. To the point. Phillips shot it, and somehow flagging it down. Puhala through a screen that was of both Peters Township's making and of his own teammates' making. As we'll look at it here on the replay. Plenty of bodies, at least 3, to try to detect that puck through, or around, more appropriately. If you try to look through a body, you're probably not going to find that puck. Just a thought from an outsider here. Williams on his backhand. Guides it to the far side kick plate. Palmieri once and twice, and the second time works to get it out. Errant pass here, though, by Central Catholic, icing, and Doug Berthold throws his hand up in the air in frustration. Berthold, one of several returners for Central Catholic. I mentioned they made it back to the playoffs last year. It was a bounce-back season, a vintage season for the Vikings, as they won 14, lost 5 in regulation, lost 1 in overtime. But the playoffs didn't go as they hoped, losing to Upper St. Clair, which no shame in that. Upper St. Clair had a lot of firepower last year. Figures to again this year, and the Panthers went all the way to the Penguins Cup final, where they got by PT. Exactly halfway through this game, 8.5 to go in the second, at least in regulation time, that is. Slap shot from the point, that was blocked, and look out, the referee had to duck out of the way of that shot and put right back on goal. Williams makes the save on Donahue. Peters Township has worn this uniform for as long as I've been calling their games. If you recall, the Ottawa Senators had a jersey that looked kind of like this. That's the inspiration for this uniform. Back to the front, Williams kicked that out on the chance for Ochwat, or pardon, that was Aaron Williams, I should say, icing here against Peters Township. Yeah, for a while, there were a lot of teams wearing those vertical stripes down the sleeves. Pretty unique in the sport of hockey. I think that was an old Nike template from international hockey. Team USA wore it. I didn't think it looked that good on them. Kind of washed out, but it's been an enduring template for these Peters Township jerseys over the years. Martin all the way! Stopped by Muhala. Camden Martin ran the gauntlet, as they say. Couldn't beat the last man. Now Fisher, a one-timer on the setup from Alexander, and he got nothing but glass with that shot. PT comes alive here on this shift, and Williams doesn't like the looks of things, so he holds on. It's a welcome development for the Indians, as they hadn't done a lot on offense in this second period. Central Catholic is averaging 3.5 goals per game in the early going here in the opening 5 games. So we're a quarter of the way through the season. You can start to identify some trends at this point. I always try to give you some context. Martin checked. He thought he was too far from the puck for that to be legal, but play allowed to continue on. Fisher hacking at it. Chopped it out to the neutral zone. Good pass, finds Alexander from the circle. A shot, save, rebound, score! 2-0 Peters Township. Alexander let it go. Puhala made the save. And that's Blake Ivanchich with his second goal in 2 games. Number 22, the freshman, goes right to the blue paint, right where you gotta go. You can watch him on this replay. Making a straight line from the neutral zone to the top of the crease, where he pounds that into the open net behind Thomas Puhala for a 2-0 advantage. PT with 1 in the first and now 1 in the second. They have extended their advantage here at home, where they're trying to even their record at 2-2. Turnover. Williams the save on Ritz from between the circles. Ethan Williams doing all he can to contribute to the cause, as Ochwat circles the wagons behind the net, but coughed it up on the far side half wall. Ray Travato trying to clean things up for Central Catholic. Could not. Pivoting out, Caputo, and his snapshot gobbled up by Puhala. They gave an assist to Caven Fisher. There should be an assist to Drew Alexander, who had that initial chance. He should be the first assist on that one. Hey, the official scores are not infallible. A lot of times you'll see the corrections after the game. Maeda, a couple of toe drags, handed it off to Caputo. His shot was redirected high into the atmosphere and flipped down to the PT blue line by Central Catholic. Caputo revs it up again for Peters Township. He's got Palmieri in the middle, as well as O'Donnell, and a stash attempt at the side of the net by Caputo. Wouldn't have counted anyway, as the net was knocked off its pegs. Happens a couple times a game at least here at Printscape. Puhala just leaning too hard against the right post. From our perspective, his left post, from the way he's facing. And a penalty called from all that. Jake Ochwat to the box. I didn't see anything on first glance. PT goes to the advantage again. Here's Fisher shooting, and it's blocked out high. Luke Gesso with a backhand clear. Third power play for Peters Township. Zone entry, and Martin just barely saves this one as he yanked it off the blue line, but Central Catholic eventually gets the clear. Haven't heard the penalty announcement yet. It is Ochwat. Fisher on the inward cut. Fed it off to Martin, right to the front of the net. The Indians captain creating some havoc with that pass, but Martin unable to find anybody in white. And Muhala stops it there. Ochwat called for tripping at 11:08. Caputo and Ivancic, your goal scorers. For Peters Township, Alexander controlled the draw on his forehand, but Martin overskated it and flipped over the head of Caven Fisher. Wateska to take this. Given to Fisher at center ice on the missed clearance by Central Catholic, and the Indians are offside. Just under 5 to go in the second period. In our first game tonight, Baldwin got its first win of the season, against Cannon Mac, 4-3. That broke an 18-game losing streak for Baldwin. Yes, 18 games going back to last December. The Highlanders had not won in the calendar year 2023. Now they have. They're 1-4. That dropped Cannon Mac to 0-5. Difficult start for the Big Macs this year. They're trying to rebound from that non-playoff finish last season. Phillips to the front with that backhand. Deflects off a couple of sticks. To the line, kept in there. Final half minute of this power play. Just not a lot to speak of on the advantage for PT tonight after scoring twice against Mount Lebo last week on the power play. Well, it was a big night for the special teams overall. They had 2 power play goals on 4 opportunities, and they scored twice shorthanded while killing off all 3 power plays against. But they won't get one here. They're about to be 0 for 3 themselves on the advantage unless O'Donnell can shoot quickly. He was hooked up, though, as he cut to the middle. It'll be another power play for Peters Township. Now with 3:48 to go in the second. They're back to the advantage. And Jay Donahue, well, actually, no, it'll be Billy George, his defense partner, headed off this time. Late night on a Tuesday. Thank you for joining us on 10 Band TV, approaching 10 o'clock. We got started pretty close to on time. I don't know if it was quite 9:10. It was before that. And always difficult when you're trying to squeeze in a couple of games after a youth practice as well. It's a busy rink. Most rinks are, or else they're not open. Gajtka slings it across. Maeda flagged it down. He had his stick chopped out of his hands. Another penalty against the Vikings. And this is going to be a long 2-man advantage for the Indians. The stick work for Central Catholic getting out of control. So here we go for Rick Tingle's squad, a chance. This will be the 5th power play, technically. Well, they're still on their 4th. The 5th one is the overlap. Whatever, it's a 5-on-3 for 1:47 if they need all of it, and they hope they don't. Maeda, after the faceoff, controlled easily by Peters Township. To the point in Gajtka. Off to Maeda, the 2-point men. To the near side, Martin, open shot! Want to go short side, and a good stop by Mohala, and it deflects off the rink into the screen over the high glass. Take a second look at that one as PT went right to left with the puck movement. Martin electing not to one-time it. Ivancic jams it and cleared by Central Catholic quickly. Right on net. Ethan Williams has to stop it there. Well, 5-on-3s are typically pivotal points in games for either team, which, regardless which way it goes. The offense, of course, can tack another one on, maybe even 2. Maeda's shot deflected on the way. Ivancic flags it down, and if the defense can pull something off, if the penalty killers can survive, then that gives a boost to that side. Maeda's wrister bangs off the body of Puhala to the near corner. That was a hot shot for sure, but Puhala equal to that task. Maeda thought about creeping down. Instead, he waits for Caputo to relay it to him, keeping it just barely in at the blue line. 40 seconds to go on the 5-on-3. Dropped off to Ivancic. How about this freshman out there on the 5-on-3 for Peters Township? Gajtka's shot glanced off something and deflects all the way out to center. It was maybe off of Puhala, perhaps off a stick, and then off the side glass and all the way out. Ivancic, 2 to go in the second period. Just 15 seconds left on the 2-man advantage, though. Central Catholic on the verge of surviving. Maeda closing though, shot, save, and it hops off the end glass. It hit Mohala right in the shoulder, and the Vikings get the clear. 1 man out of the box. About to be a 2nd man out of the box as Maeda pivots and spins a pass toward the middle. Turned over. Making a move is Moline trying to get to the net. He's dispossessed. Maeda takes it right back. We're back to 5-on-5, just like that. Maeda looking. He's got to be exhausted. He drops it off. Martin in the skates of Maeda. Spun it behind the net with 1:20 left in the second period. So Central Catholic is 5 for 5 on the penalty kill tonight. Blasted around by Jay Donahue. It does come out the center. Shot right back in by Fisher. That's a delayed offside. PT's got to regroup and come back. They do on the reload. With Palmieri pressuring, that pass deflected up ahead off the stick of D'Orazio for Central Catholic. Final minute of the second. PT trying to strike at even strength here. Palmieri, a shot again from considerable distance beyond the top of the right circle. Gloved and held by Thomas Puhala. Puhala made, I believe, 3 separate saves on that 5-on-3. Might have even been 4, but he was just in the right position. The shots were glancing off his shoulder, off his chest. Didn't really have to reach out and make anything look spectacular. That's a credit to him. And of course, Peters Township would say, well, we didn't place our shots that well. And could at least be partially true, right? All a matter of perspective. To the point in Fisher. Under a half minute to go. Puts it right on net with that wrist shot. Puhala makes another stop. The Vikings just trying to protect, and they do connect on a pass. Ben Scoter stripped by Fisher. Fisher tossed it high. 3-man rush with a few seconds to go. Puhala sticks the glove out to knock it away to the corner, and that's that for the second period. just like the first period. Peters Township scores one solitary goal. This time from the freshman, Blake Ivanchich, his second in 2 games, on the rebound of Drew Alexander's drive from the right circle. PT gets 3 power plays after that, including a lengthy 5-on-3, but it cannot convert further. We'll start the third period at full and even strength with Peters Township ahead 2-0 on Central Catholic. Keep it right here on High School Hockey Night Live, presented by Eric Martin of Ameriprise Financial.
Two jumbo ice caramel drizzle peppermint mochaccino. Extra caramel.
That's us.
I'd love to join you guys at the beach house for a few days, but between my job and the kids, it's just not that easy. Not to mention, how am I squeezing into a bikini after this winter?
Keeping off extra pounds while balancing a family and a career can be tough. And 500-calorie coffees won't get you there either. Weight Loss Direct provides a 24/7 support and one-on-one coaching to keep you on track and guarantee you success and health. Start your journey at weightlossdirect.com.
Are you ready to take your game to the next level? Hey, I'm Tyler Kennedy, 2009 Pittsburgh Penguins Stanley Cup champion here, and trust me, I know what it's like to play to the max. That's why I recommend the patented Heads Up Sports Training System. Improve your reaction time and your spatial awareness with this dynamic training system all at your fingertips. Train smarter with endless applications for any position. It's that simple. HeadsUpSTS.com. Play with your head up.
For it for Peters Township. Chipped it up the near side wall, and out it goes. And a 3-on-1 early. Caputo holding, shooting, and he scores! Zone. Palmieri pressuring hard. Griffin Lewis. Strong skating and a shot, and Williams. Never easy, I guess, or something like that. Phillips takes the cross-ring pass, a weird bounce right in front of the Central Catholic net. And that late start is advantageous, I suppose. You can just stack them. And I guess if you're going to play out west, play just after we turn the clocks back. Here's a look on this game. Charlie Caputo early in the first period. To the point. Phillips shot it, and somehow flagging it down, Puhala. But it's been an enduring template for these Peters Township jerseys over the years. Martin all the way! Hacking at it. Chopped it out to the neutral zone. Good pass, finds Alexander from the circle. A shot, save, rebound, score! 2-up again for Peters Township. He's got Palmieri in the middle, as well as O'Donnell, and a stash attempt at the side of the net by Caputo. Wouldn't have counted easily by Peters Township. To the point in Wateska. Off to Maeda, the 2-point man. To the near side, Martin, open shot! Want to go short side, and a good stop by Mohala, and it deflects.
Two jumbo ice caramel drizzle peppermint mochaccino. Extra caramel.
That's us.
I'd love to join you guys at the beach house for a few days, but between my job and the kids, it's just not that easy. Not to mention, how am I squeezing into a bikini after this winter?
Keeping off extra pounds while balancing a family and a career can be tough. And 500-calorie coffees won't get you there either. Weight Loss Direct provides a 24/7 support and one-on-one coaching to keep you on track and guarantee you success and health. Start your journey at weightlossdirect.com.
Are you ready to take your game to the next level? Hey, I'm Tyler Kennedy, 2009 Pittsburgh Penguins Stanley Cup champion here, and trust me, I know what it's like to play to the max. That's why I recommend the patented Heads-Up Sports Training System. Improve your reaction time and your spatial awareness with this dynamic training system all at your fingertips. Train smarter with endless applications for any position. It's that simple. HeadsUpSTS.com. Play with your head up.
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes, knees and toes. And eyes and cheeks and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes, knees and toes.
Affordable self-care from professional massage therapists and estheticians. It's what we do. Massage Envy, where better begins.
2 jumbo iced caramel drizzle peppermint mochaccino, extra caramel.
That's us.
I'd love to join you guys at the beach house for a few days, but between my job and the kids, it's just not that easy. Not to mention, how am I squeezing into a bikini after this winter?
Keeping off extra pounds while balancing a family and a career can be tough. And 500-calorie coffees won't get you there either. Weight Loss Direct provides a 24/7 support and one-on-one coaching to keep you on track and guarantee you success and health. Start your journey at weightlossdirect.com.
Discover the heart of Pittsburgh at Mount Washington Shop and Save. At Mount Washington Shop and Save, we're more than just a grocery store. We're your neighborhood destination. From the freshest local produce to gourmet delights, we've got it all under one roof. Experience convenience, quality, and savings all in the heart of Mount Washington. Mount Washington Shop and Save, where Pittsburgh shops with a view. Shop smart, shop local, shop Mount Washington Shop and Save.
Hey there, hockey fans! You already know 10 Band TV can stream live regional sports. But did you know you can also stream the best of the local music scene as well? Music from the 412 is live and streaming 24/7 on 10 Band TV. Watch music videos, concerts, and original programming free from the comfort of your couch. Featuring the best of music and artists from Pittsburgh and Western PA. Tune in today.
Jumbo iced caramel drizzle peppermint mochaccino, extra caramel.
That's us.
I'd love to join you guys at the beach house for a few days, but between my job and the kids, it's just not that easy. Not to mention, how am I squeezing into a bikini after this winter?
Keeping off extra pounds while balancing a family and a career can be tough. And 500-calorie coffees won't get you there either. Weight Loss Direct provides a 24/7 support and one-on-one coaching to keep you on track and guarantee you success and health. Start your journey at weightlossdirect.com.
Are you ready to take your game to the next level? Hey, I'm Tyler Kennedy, 2009 Pittsburgh Penguins Stanley Cup champion here, and trust me, I know what it's like to play to the max. That's why I recommend the patented Heads-Up Sports Training System. Improve your reaction time and your spatial awareness with this dynamic training system all at your fingertips. Train smarter with endless applications for any position. It's that simple. HeadsUpSTS.com. Play with your head up.
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. And eyes and cheeks and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes.
Affordable self-care from professional massage therapists and estheticians. It's what we do. Massage Envy, where better begins.
2 jumbo iced caramel drizzle peppermint mochaccino, extra caramel.
That's us.
I'd love to join you guys at the beach house for a few days, but between my job and the kids, it's just not that easy. Not to mention, how am I squeezing into a bikini after this winter?
Keeping off extra pounds while balancing a family and a career can be tough. And 500-calorie coffees won't get you there either. Weight Loss Direct provides a 24/7 support and one-on-one coaching to keep you on track and guarantee you success and health. Start your journey at weightlossdirect.com.
Discover the heart of Pittsburgh at Mount Washington Shop and Save. At Mount Washington Shop and Save, we're more than just a grocery store. We're your neighborhood destination. From the freshest local produce to gourmet delights, we've got it all under one roof. Experience convenience, quality, and savings all in the heart of Mount Washington. Mount Washington Shop and Save, where Pittsburgh shops with a view. Shop smart, shop local, shop Mount Washington Shop and Save.
Hey there, hockey fans! You already know 10-Band TV can stream live regional sports. But did you know you can also stream the best of the local music scene as well? Music from the 412 is live and streaming 24/7 on 10-Band TV. Watch music videos, concerts, and original programming free from the comfort of your couch. Featuring the best of music and artists from Pittsburgh and Western PA. Tune in today.
Two jumbo ice caramel drizzle peppermint mochaccino, extra caramel.
That's us.
I'd love to join you guys at the beach house for a few days, but between my job and the kids, it's just not that easy. Not to mention, how am I squeezing into a bikini after this winter?
Keeping off extra pounds while balancing a family and a career can be tough. And 500-calorie coffees won't get you there either. Weight Loss Direct provides a 24/7 support and one-on-one coaching to keep you on track and guarantee you success and health. Start your journey at weightlossdirect.com.
Are you ready to take your game to the next level? Hey, I'm Tyler Kennedy, 2009 Pittsburgh Penguins Stanley Cup champion here, and trust me, I know what it's like to play to the max. That's why I recommend the patented Heads Up Sports Training System, improving reaction time and your spatial awareness with this dynamic training system all at your fingertips. Train smarter with endless applications for any position. It's that simple. HeadsUpSTS.com. Play with your head up.
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. And eyes and cheeks and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes.
Affordable self-care from professional massage therapists and estheticians. It's what we do. Massage Envy, where better begins.
Two jumbo ice caramel drizzle peppermint.
Ready for the start of the third period. Peters Township hanging on to a 2-0 lead against Central Catholic. I'm Matt Gajtka. This is High School Hockey Night live from South Point. Printscape Arena is the site. And thank you to Todd Kazarowski and his wonderful crew on site for bringing you the pictures and audio. Audio also important here, even though it is primarily a visual medium, of course. PT scoring 1 goal in the first, 1 goal in the second. Caputo and Ivancic on the board for the Indians, and so far so perfect for goaltender Ethan Williams making his first start of the season. He's stopped all 18 shots he has faced. Peters Township turned up the offensive pressure in the second period, launching 15 shots at Central Catholic goaltender Thomas Puhala. Puhala made all but 1 stop, including a flawless slate on a 2-man disadvantage for his side, so the Vikings survived that, and because of his goaltending and the penalty-killing work, the Vikings still have a shot here in this third period. They need a great third period, but they still have a chance to come out of here with at least a point if they do put forth an outstanding effort. This is icing against them, though, 10 seconds in. Central Catholic had won 2 in a row going into last week's home meeting against North Allegheny. Then they scored first. Then they allowed 7 straight goals to North Allegheny and losing eventually 7-2. That was tied with their lowest offensive output of the season, as well as their worst defensive result of the season. Peters Township, meanwhile, won 6-2 against Mount Lebo last week behind a Camden Martin hat trick. And now they have a rather sizable advantage going into the third tonight, trying to make it 2 in a row on home ice. In their third consecutive game on home ice, they'll play 4 in a row on this home stand before getting back to the road after Thanksgiving. Martin dragging it through. He had his stick knocked out of his hands. No call-up coming this time, though. Very familiar, or very similar to the situation that led to the penalty that led to the 5-on-3 in the second period. And wait, do we have a penalty? I think we do. Pardon me, I spoke too soon. The whistle does sound, and Griffin Lewis is off to the penalty box. Power play number 6 upcoming for Peters Township. They've scored 3 times on 25 opportunities on the season, so their percentage has taken a hit. It came in at 15%. Now we're getting close to 10%. But a goal would change all that and would put a significant down payment on a victory here tonight. Palmieri banked it out to the point, shot, score! Ripped in by Joey Wateska through a screen. And there's the PPG for PT. 3-0, exactly 1 minute into the third. Wateska simply let it fly. And you can see Thomas Puhala didn't react until it was well past his glove hand. So there you go. Give Palmieri the primary assist on Joey Wateska's first goal of the season. He's also got a couple of assists on the year. Flipped up ahead. PT on the chase here. And they've now made Central Catholic continue to chase with a 3-goal lead now. 1 goal in each of the first 3 periods. 1 goal in each of the 3 periods for Peters Township. I guess unless we go to overtime, that would be the first 3 periods. You know what I mean. Fisher doubling back for this puck to Klein. Wanted to tip it onto Fisher. Now he makes a traditional pass to him, but Fisher couldn't handle it cleanly. Ritz taking it back. He feeds it far side. And again, the Vikings guilty of an errant breakout pass and another icing against them. With a win tonight, Peters Township would move to 3-3. That would tie them with Central Catholic in the early season standings. The leaders in AAA, there are 4 of them. North Allegheny, Upper St. Clair, Seneca Valley, and Pine Richland each have 8 points. And then Bethel Park's got 7. Central Catholic and Mount Lebo, 6 each. Scouvert on frame with that shot on the forehand cut move, but Puhala handles it rather routinely. There was one other game not here at Printscape tonight. Mount Lebo made the trip up to face off against Erie Cathedral Prep. And Cathedral Prep scored a 3-1 win. The Ramblers now have 2 victories on the season. Williams coughed up that rebound, but fortunately for him, the first man on it was wearing a white jersey. Snapped right back in. Williams stops this one cleanly behind his net. Maeda ducking away from pressure. Crossing over again. He's a good skater, Luca Maeda. Off to Scouvert. Once and twice. Second time he got that puck toward the net. Drew Alexander handles and shovels it down the wall. He goes after his own play as he realized Martin had backpedaled, fearful of a turnover. Marcelo takes over for Central Catholic. Final period of the night, at least regulation period. Alexander couldn't reach to poke that puck. Neither could Ivancic. It's on to Marcelo's blade. Left it behind. Strong move there. Ochwad onto his backhand, and it's blocked. Ethan Phillips got in the way, or pardon, Hudson Phillips. It is Ethan Williams in net for PT. So far, so great for him in his first start of the season. Alexander and Martin trying to team up to force a turnover. Nothing doing. Marcelo escapes for Central Catholic, but his pass to the far wing picked off by Phillips and sent right back into Vikings real estate. Picked off by Alexander. His backhand weakened on the way. Couldn't get the rebound either. Wateska, the most recent goal scorer, bunted it down the wall. Caputo takes it off the wood back there. Phillips knocked it right back to Caputo, who scored in the first period, his first of the season. First point of the season as well. Alexander, power move to the front, swept it right through the top of the blue paint. Alexander again trying to turn it onto his forehand after receiving the pass on his backhand, and Alexander is hurt somehow. He reached down in pain toward his hand. Kick free. Martin shot it high. Big rebound off the glass, but bounced away from it in the end. Under 12 left in regulation. Moline chasing. Instead it goes on to Lewis. What a shot for a score. Griffin Lewis, snipe job. Ruins the shutout for Peters Township and goalie Ethan Williams and gives Central Catholic some semblance of hope. They're back within 2 are the Vikings with 11:46 remaining in the third. Watch this perfect placement. Woo, right under the crossbar. Not just placement, but also velocity and quickness of release. He had the trifecta, did Griffin Lewis, scoring his team best 3rd goal of the year. One goal apiece in this third. Billy George with the suspense still alive. Off to Donahue. Don't switch over to that Penguins game just yet. Well, heck, you can make it a 2-screen experience. This is the 21st century after all. George on the high toss, got it out. So PT's got to keep it buttoned up here. Can't let things get too loose, as we're back to a 2-goal spread. George back to take this. Paul Mary stepping up the wall. He's crunched into the sideboards by Lewis, the goal scorer for the Vikings. Ben Scoter in some trouble in his own end. Played it off the leg of Paul Mary right to Lewis, fortunately for him. Lewis dragging it to a backhand save, rebound. Oh, put just wide. Donahue pinched in from the point, joined the rush. Now Donahue tries to slug this in front of the net. That hit Williams and bounced right back into the near corner. That's where it's cleared by Peters Township, the length of the ice. That's icing with 10:09 left. And the Vikings were a stashed rebound away from making this really exciting. PT led it 3-0. Now it's 3-1. Face off in the Indian zone. Clean win, right back to the point and snapped right into the chest of the standing Williams. That was a hard drive from Nate Cox out at the blue line. He tested the flex on his stick after that. Cox, the captain of the Vikings. Down the wall it goes, but the Indians can't get going because Holleran tripped over Scouvert. Back come the Vikings, pass toward the middle, picked off expertly and calmly. It was by Owen Lazaro. Haven't called his name yet tonight. Here he is again with the puck. Lazaro up the far side. Out it goes. Poon trying to escape. He's checked after getting rid of the puck. Some of the fans in front of us wanted interference. They're not going to get it. On the pull-up move, DeRazio. Low shot, and Williams again out on top of the blue paint to kick that away. Poon, it's a 2-on-1 here with Scoovert. Indians are onside. Poon shot it, kind of handcuffed Puhala, but he made the save nonetheless. And it's getting really exciting now as we go back and forth. No icing here. Vikings go back to get it. Flipped ahead by Kane Phillip. Phillips, that's Hudson Phillips, that is, for Peters Township. Fields it, plays it, on to Martin. Chipped on to Ivancic, wanted to go to Alexander in front, but that was blocked. Alexander takes this one right back. Drew Alexander filters it out to the point. Wateska slings it across to Phillips. His shot redirected just wide of the net to the right. Alexander retrieves it though. Wateska off Alexander's body into the middle. Alexander backhand to the front. And Puhala, I think, made a save on Martin's backhand attempt. Trying to clinch this one for Peters Township. They're still not quite out of the woods. Ochwat winding it up. Alexander picks it off on the pass attempt. Ivancic swinging at it. Out to the blue line and just barely beyond the blue line as it turns out. Whistled by the referee on the near side. Offside against the Vikings. 7:55 remaining in the third. We'll have another Tuesday doubleheader here next week featuring Peters Township and Cannon Mac. Seven and 9 o'clock. As usual, Williams makes a blocker save. Ethan Williams looking on top of his game tonight. Bryce O'Donnell cruising into the attacking zone, downshifted on the sideboards. Penalty coming up. Roughing the call, and I think it's against Central Catholic. That's the last thing the Vikes need, but they're going to get it anyway. Billy George Jr. off to the bin for what he hopes is a 2-minute stay, because that'll mean his teammates did the job on the penalty kill. Next Tuesday, Peters Township will take on Bethel Park. Again, it'll be a nightcap for Peters Township, 9 o'clock start. Cannon Mac facing North Allegheny in our first game next Tuesday. And of course, the schedule is on 10-Band TV. 10band.tv, to be clear. You can find it right there on the web. O'Donnell was in the zone ahead of the play. He's got a tag up for Peters Township. The Indians do get back to legality, but it's jammed down the rink. Once more by the Vikings. They get a couple of 200-foot clears to start this penalty-killing effort, which is absolutely essential to their hopes to coming back in this game. At this point, Wateska, who scored a power play goal earlier in this period, pulls up in the corner, wanted to feed it to Ivancic. That was picked off. And the Indians have committed a stick foul on the far side on Jay Donahue, who's trying to escape the zone, and PT a little too ambitious with the stick work. Austin Corbel, pardon, I thought that was Wateska over there. It was Corbel, and Corbel ends up getting the penalty. Evening things up for the next 1 minute and 6 seconds. And then Central Catholic will have a power play on the backside of that. 4-on-4 right now, and as far as the trailing team is concerned, 4-on-4 is all right. Gives you more chance at generating offense. So it hurts in a couple of different ways for Peters Township. High stick on the puck waved off as it was against Central Catholic, and the Indians were the first to touch it. Gajtka kicks it along as his stick was tied up in the far corner. Camden Martin escapes. He's a guy who you think would thrive at 4-on-4. On his shoot-in, he gets to it after a touch from the goaltender, Puhala. Cleared off the glass. Weird bounce off a partition. Right to Martin. Looks in front. Ivancic had his stick lifted on the one-time attempt. That puck might have been bouncing a little bit too much as well. Martin tried to make the saucer pass. Now he takes this feed indirect off the boards from Gajtka. Gajtka takes the pass back from Martin, and he's stopped by Puhala. And watch out now, the Vikings can push the pace back. They're 4 men strong. Snapshot glove save by Williams on Kane Phillips' drive. Just a few seconds remaining on the 4-on-4, then the Vikings will go to the power play for the first time in a while. The Vikings just with the one power play in this game, and that was 1 minute in. Just after Charlie Caputo had made it 1-0, 31 seconds into this game. Right toward the front of the net. Williams got a stick in there to try to deny it, and he pokes this loose puck away from Griffin Lewis, who's been buzzing his tower right around the net. Power play begins for Central Catholic. It's an abridged version, but they get one nonetheless. That's about all they can ask for. Cox turning this way and that, makes the pass up the far side. Cutting toward the middle is Ben Scoter, number 29. The senior makes the play around to Griffin Lewis, the junior who's got a goal in this game, the only goal in this game for Central Catholic. Out to the point, kept in briefly by Daly, and now Alexander escorts it to safety for Peters Township. Just 15 seconds to go on the penalty to Austin Corbel, Peters Township defenseman. He'll be out in 10, as here are the Vikings again. On the rush, the puck ends up behind the net. Caven Fisher fighting to win this battle. Caputo will get there and clear. Down the length of the rink. Was it before or after the penalty ended? Apparently, it was after. So it's icing. 4.5 left in the third. No timeout taken yet by either side. So yes, each team does have the one remaining allotted to it. The face-off controlled by the Indians, seeking to make it 2 wins in a row here on home ice. And 2 wins in a row overall for the first time this year. It's been a halting start for PT. Not as dominant as usual. The climb continues on. Icing again against PT. Jeremy Poon thought he was going to get there in time to keep that puck from trundling over the goal line. Not to be, just barely. Meanwhile, Central Catholic trying to avoid its second consecutive loss. That would be its first losing streak of 2023-24. Again, won by Peters Township. Palmieri couldn't get there to the point, though, to help push it out. Now Gajtka's going to try. He gave it away, and a high-rising shot from the right circle goes off the glass. Fritz passing cross rink. Donahue to the front. Williams the save, and the rebound shoved into the corner. That close again. The Vikings have generated some chances off second opportunities in this third period. They haven't put one of those in yet, but it's been a close call on a couple of occasions. What do we have here? Another penalty against Peters Township. High sticking against Hudson Phillips, senior D-man. That puts the Vikings on the power play for the third time, and the second time in quick succession, putting more pressure on the Peters Township defense. Backstopped by Ethan Williams. So here we go. Again, couldn't ask for more for the Vikings here on the road. That's offside. Cox couldn't keep it alive. The faceoff will be just outside the blue line. As we get past 10:30 on a Tuesday night. Late night pucks on 10-band TV. I'm Matt Gajtka on the play-by-play. 3.5 to go in this game. PT's led almost the entire way. As Moline took the shot, that was blocked in front of Williams and cleared by Peters Township. Charlie Caputo scored 31 seconds into this game. And that was it as far as offense was concerned for a while. Blake Ivancic polished off the rebound of Drew Alexander's shot. Here's a chance in front. Lewis one-timer. Actually, that was Ochwat, I should say. And he was stopped by Williams, who put his toe against the post. Ochwat turning, trying to create some time and space for himself, and he does. To the line, Cox, shot off a leg. Cox looking, feeding near side. Griffin Lewis, his pass was deflected, not cleared though. Still out by the line, Cox goes back door, chance for Moline, he couldn't stuff it in, now he does, he scores. Josh Moline makes it 3-2, back-to-back goals by the Vikings. It's a power play goal for Central Catholic. Moline, second of the season, he stayed with it, off the chaos in front. First shot was stopped, and he just swept it in. The element of surprise as he put it between the legs of Ethan Williams. And what do we have here? A one-goal game with 2:26 remaining. As if to illustrate that not much is coming easy for Peters Township in this early season stretch. They led 3-0 a minute into this third period, and now they'll have to fight off a defensive zone draw, ahead by just one with 2 minutes to go. 2.25 minutes to go, to be exact. Thanks one more time to Eric Martin, financial advisor for Ameriprise Financial, for being tonight's game sponsor. Poked out to center. It's a breakaway for Caputo. Scores! Charlie Caputo started it, and he just might have ended it for Peters Township. The partial break after making the defensive zone play following the faceoff. Peters Township has a 2-goal lead again. A perfect little snap shot inside the right post. He went inside the left post for his first goal tonight. And Central Catholic doesn't even get a chance to pull its goaltender, and they give up a fourth. They still might yank Thomas Puhala at a certain point here. Maybe now. Guess we'll find out. Right to the front. They just continue to buzz, do the Vikings. Moline got a look there on Daly's follow-up chance. High stick on the puck. Stops the play with 1:47 remaining in the third. Central Catholic has called timeout. Gives us a great chance to go over the scoring summary again. Charlie Caputo netted his first goal of the night, 31 seconds into tonight's game, off Camden Martin's assist. It was 1-0 Peters Township. It grew to 2-0. The lead did in the second period, 10 minutes into the second. Blake Ivancic scoring on the rebound of Drew Alexander's shot from the right circle. Caven Fisher got the secondary assist. And then 1 minute into the third period, Joey Watesco wired a point shot through traffic and in during a power play to give PT a 3-0 advantage. Zach Palmieri earned the assist there. But then Griffin Lewis with a perfect snapshot upstairs at 5:14 of the third. That made it 3-1. Josh Moline, Evan Benscoter on the helpers. And at 14:34, Josh Moline followed his own rebound and put it in. Benscoter and Ochwat on the assist there. It was 3-2 on that power play goal for the Vikings. But you just saw it moments ago, only 18 seconds after it became 3-2. Charlie Caputo broke up a pass high in the defensive zone, had a partial breakaway, and ripped it by goaltender Thomas Puhala to restore a 2-goal lead for Peters Township. And now Puhala is in the net He pretty much has to be. The faceoff coming up in the defensive zone. Timeout's over. We're back to live action. Swept around by Donahue. It does get out to the point. No further there. Lewis commanding the puck, the power forward for Central Catholic. He's been great all night. Rifled into the attacking zone for the Vikings. And, well, trying to get to the bench was Puhala. He never got there. At the line, Daly flipped it behind the goal. Here comes Puhala. It's a 6-on-5 in front of the net. And stubbed wide of the net by Lewis on the setup. Ben Scoter gave it away behind the net. Fisher up and out. It's an empty net down to our right. Martin couldn't catch up. Daly's pass across. Broken up at the blue line. Going to be delayed offside, but the Indians clear. Off a body. Martin looking for it. Martin for the empty net. And it's picked off by Donahue in the slot. Under a minute to go. The Vikings in desperation mode now. Moline ducking around the checking of Martin. Luca Maeda on it, his backhand. On to the safety of center, cleared toward the net and deflected away by Nate Cox, the Vikings captain. One more shot at the empty net, and Maeda's drive was blocked at center ice. 27 seconds to go in this game, most likely. Lewis to the front and fanning on a one-timer. Donahue right there, maybe 5 feet away from the net. Net's off its moorings as Ethan Williams pokes at this for Peters Township, and the clock stops with exactly 15 seconds to go. I think if this were a one-goal game, you might see Rick Tingle use a timeout. Not so in this case. Figures he might as well keep it in his back pocket, as it looks like this one is all but over. And his team is about to pick up its second straight win. Paul Mary, the forehand face-off win. Out to the line, drifting down into the Central Catholic zone. Paul Mary couldn't shoot, it would have been offside, and lost control, but that's it. Indians win. 4-2. They're now 3-3 on the season. They've snagged back-to-back wins here at home. They beat Mount Lebo last week. They beat Central Catholic this week, and for the first time in the early season, the Vikings have dropped 2 straight as they fall to North Allegheny at home and now Peters Township on the road. Both teams exit tonight's action at an even 3-3 as they're tied right smack dab in the middle of the Class AAA standings. They've each played 6 out of their 20 games. We'll see a rematch later this season out in Harmarville, but as for tonight, PT scores early and for the most part controlled the action once they got to that 2-0 lead midway through the second period. And then some nervous moments late. Give the Vikings a lot of credit for their pushback on this late Tuesday night to make things very interesting, much more interesting than the Indians would have liked once they grew that lead to 3-0 early in the third. Ethan Williams earns the win in net for Peters Township. He ends up stopping 29 of 31 shots. Thomas Puhala stops 26 of 30 in the Central Catholic net. Peters Township back at it next week. We'll have that game against Bethel Park. That South Hills rivalry is renewed. 9 o'clock start. That'll be the second game of our doubleheader after Ken Mack takes on North Allegheny at 7 o'clock. That's upcoming Tuesday, November the 14th. For Todd Kazarowski and his crew on site at Printscape Arena in South Point, I'm Matt Gajtka saying good night, have a great week, and we'll talk to you next time on High School Hockey Night Live on 10 Band TV.
2 jumbo ice caramel drizzle peppermint mochaccino, extra caramel.
That's us.
I'd love to join you guys at the beach house for a few days, but between my job and the kids, it's just not that easy. Not to mention, how am I squeezing into a bikini after this winter?
Keeping off extra pounds while balancing a family and a career can be tough. And 500-calorie coffees won't get you there either. Weight Loss Direct provides a 24/7 support and one-on-one coaching to keep you on track and guarantee you success and health. Start your journey at weightlossdirect.com.
Are you ready to take your game to the next level? Hey, I'm Tyler Kennedy, 2009 Pittsburgh Penguins Stanley Cup champion here, and trust me, I know what it's like to play to the max. That's why I recommend the patented heads-up sports training system, improving reaction time and your spatial awareness with this dynamic training system all at your fingertips. Train smarter with endless applications for any position. It's that simple. HeadsUpSTS.com. Play with your head up.
For it for Peters Township. Chipped it up the near side wall and out it goes. And a 3-on-1 early. Caputo holding, shooting, and he scores! Zone. Palmieri pressuring hard. Griffin Lewis. Strong skating and a shot. And Williams. Never easy, I guess. Or something like that. Phillips takes the cross-ring pass. A weird bounce right in front of the Central Catholic net. And that late start is advantageous, I suppose. You can just stack them. And I guess if you're going to play out west, play just after we turn the clocks back. Here's a look on this game. Charlie Caputo, early in the first period. To the point. Phillips shot it, and somehow flagging it down, Puhala. But it's been an enduring template for these Peters Township jerseys over the years. Martin all the way! Hacking at it. Chopped it out to the neutral zone. Good pass, finds Alexander from the circle. A shot, save, rebound, score! 2 up again for Peters Township. He's got Palmieri in the middle, as well as O'Donnell, and a stash attempt at the side of the net by Caputo. Wouldn't have counted easily by Peters Township. To the point in Wateska. Off to Maeda, the 2-point man. To the near side, Martin, open shot! Want to go short side, and a good stop by Mohala, and it all that, and would put a significant down payment on a victory here tonight. Palmieri banked it out to the point, shot, score! With a 3-goal lead now. 1 goal in each of the first 3 periods. 1 goal in each of the 3 periods for Peters Township. The end. Under 12 left in regulation. Moline chasing. Instead it goes on to Lewis. What a shot for a score! Played it off the leg of Palmieri right to Lewis, fortunately for him. Lewis dragging it to a backhand save, rebound. Oh, put just wide. Paint to kick that away. Poon, it's a 2-on-1 here with Scouvert. Indians are onside. Poon shot it, kind of handcuffed Puhala, but he made the save. Just wide of the net to the right. Alexander retrieves it though. Wateska off Alexander's body, into the middle, Alexander backhand to the front. And now the Vikings can push the pace back. They're 4 men strong. Snapshot, glove save by Williams on Kane Phillips' drive. Deflected, not cleared though. Still out by the line. Cox goes back door. Chance for Moline. He couldn't stuff it in. Now he does. He scores. For being tonight's game sponsor. Poked out the center. It's a breakaway for Caputo. Scores!